Right. So currently, this is where we are. We've created our drop down, interactive drop down that is also driven by these slices. Right. Good. Now we want to format our data or our statement so that it looks something like this, right? Clean, nice, and more presentable. Okay. So now the numbers are in, but it doesn't look presentable. Okay, so how do we do this? So we are going to actually have a helper column that's going to help us to identify those that are totals, those that are subheaders, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just noticing this errors over here, and I believe this is being caused by our formula here, this if error formula. So I'm going to change it, and I'm going to use an if rather, which would be simpler. So I'm going to say if this guy, okay, if this guy is equal to trial balance, let's just keep it simple because I suspect that's what's causing this error. Then give me trial balance. Else, let's just take the trim and let's take off this guy. Okay, so let's do this and enter, and then we have that gone, right? I had a feeling that was what's causing the problem. Okay, so we need to trim our trial balance over here. So trim range, close brackets here, enter. Good. Now let me test this income statement. Let me test this balance sheet. Let me test it trial balance. Okay, good. So now we fixed that problem. I just noticed it. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I was saying, is we're just going to create a helper column over here that's going to help us identify the total rows and identify those that are actual data. So if you come to income statement, we need to have total rows in here. So total revenue, total other income. So what I'm going to do is come into the income statement line over here. Okay, select this, come to design, and then what I'm going to do is bring the subtotal to the bottom. Right? So if you select this and you select subtotal to the bottom, you have something like this. You get a good. That gives you these totals. So come here, come to design, come to subtotal at the bottom. Do the same for this guy. Design, subtotal at the bottom. Same for this guy. Design, subtotal at the bottom. We'll do the same in the balance sheet. We'll come here, design, subtotal at the bottom. At the bottom here, design, subtotal at the bottom. And then the last one, so design, subtotal at the bottom. Good. So what we'll have over here is a list of accounts and their subtotals in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a list that will help us know those that should be treated as main headers and those that should be treated as totals over here. So we'll come to the sheet over here, Alt N V D. Okay, this is to create a pivot table from the data model. Come here to COA and just put name in rows. Good. Name in rows. Good. So now that I have the name in rows, we can come to our statement and say, whenever we find an item in here that is also here, then that guy should be treated as a header. So we should give it a number that shows that it's a header. Okay, so we're going to say equal to, right? Now, the function I like to use, right, whenever I want to find if something is in a list, is the OR function. Many people don't know this, but the OR function acts like an in function the because of dynamic arrays, right? So if I say OR and I select this guy, which is revenue, and I say revenue is equal to, okay, I come to the setup sheet and I select this list. I lock it absolutely F4, and I close brackets. I press enter. What happens is I get true, right? If I drag this down, those are not in the list, I'll get false. Very fantastic use of the OR function. Good. So now that I have this, I can say if or blah, 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 blah. Give me one, else give me nothing for now. Then I can drag this down as much as I want. Control D. So wherever those main items are, there'll be 1. Good. Now, the next thing is I want to also identify those that are total. So I'm going to say, instead of giving me nothing, give me if, okay, right of J8, which is revenue, 5. So if the last 5 characters of J8, okay, is equal to total, then give me 2. Else give me nothing. Like this. Enter. So I have this in place. I'm going to drag this down. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 1, we have 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. And the last one is profit and loss. So if it happens to be profit and loss, if it happens to be the words profit and loss, as you see over here, then give me 3. Now, if J8 equals to profit slash loss, okay, close quotation, give me 3, else give me blank. Like this, enter, make sure you close the function properly, and I drag it down. Is that okay? Good. So this is what your function should look like. Let me zoom in. If or G8 is equal to setup sheet, that's our list, our reference list, then give me 1. So if it's in the list, give me 1. If right, J8 5 is equal to total 2. If J8 is equal to profit and loss 3, other than that, give me blank. Good. Then we have this in place. It's now looking good. So with that in place, now we can create or we can start actually formatting those that are headers. We can format those that are subheaders or subtotals, and then we can format the profit and loss. Okay, so we are getting somewhere. We can identify them now with the help of that. Now, we also notice that there is this alternative row formatting, right? So this row is light, this row is dark, this row is light, this row is dark, right? Good. So we're also going to do the same thing over there. So we'll come here, we'll highlight the entire area up to X all the way to the bottom. Like this. Okay, let me zoom in, zoom out. Good. So we're going to do some formatting. Now, the formatting is going to be based on 2 things. Okay, the alternating is only going to be based on the fact that there's data in the row, right? There's data in the row, and there's only going to be data in the row if J8 is filled. If J8 is not filled, you notice that there's no data. And then there's also data in the column. If column or row 7, I believe, is not filled, there'll be no data in there. Okay, so let's do this. So we'll come here, we'll come to home. We're going to use conditional formatting, and then we're going to say new, okay, use formula. Is that okay? So now let's put in the formula. So the formula is simply going to be, we need to alternate, right? A good way to alternate is to use a row number. Is that okay? So we're going to say that if the row number is an even number, okay, so if the row number is an even number, then what we want you to do is to give us one color. If it's an odd number, give us another. So one of them will have the background color and the other is going to use a different color. Okay, so what I propose is let's use even numbers having an alternative colors and then odd numbers having alternative colors. We're going to equal to is even row number. So row, and then what row are we in? We are in J8. So J8, right? Something like this. And then we'll come to format. Let me just use a fill just to demonstrate. Okay. Okay. So we have something like this. Do you get it? So you see all the even numbers, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, so on and so forth, have a different font color. And then the odd numbers have the same font color. Yeah. Now to go back again, we can just press Alt-OD. Okay, come here and let's edit the rule better. So we've created one, but you notice a few things. One, it goes beyond where there's data. We don't want that. And also goes beyond where there's columns. So we're going to put in some stops to that. So we're going to say A and D. Is that okay? And the first thing we're going to say is that $J8, right? It's not blank. That's the first thing. Good. And then we'll say row, is it row 7? Yeah, row 7. So $7. The reason why I'm blocking 7 is because I'm interested in row 7, right? It's also not blank. Close bracket. Now, if I click OK, and I click apply here, you see it applies. Good. Let's edit this row again. Now, let's bring in the color we actually want. So I'm coming here to fill more colors. And the color we're going to use is a color that complements the background so well. So it's going to be 435. So the color is #4356469. #4356469. All right. Click OK over here. Click OK here. OK here as well. Let me click apply. Good. And you have something like this. You get it? So you see, it really complements the background color so well. Okay, so now that we have that in place, now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the individual ones, okay? So now we've worked on the alternating color. Now we're going to work on the headers. So those that are number 1, those that are number 2, those that are number 3. How do we want them to look like? Is that okay? Good. So new rule, use a formula. We're going to come here over here, right? And this time, let's start with those that are number 2, the total. Okay, if you come to this sheet, you see here the total is filled with a blue fill over here to make them stand out. So we'll do the same thing over here. Okay, we're going to say equal to A and D. Okay, $J8, first isn't blank. Also $7, we're interested in row 7 this time around, right? That is also not blank. Good. And then now I'm going to say $, I8, this column, I8. So $I8, sorry, I8 is equal to 2. You see that? Good. Format, we'll come here, fill, more colors. Over here, the color we're going to use, right, is total. So it's 6, E88 is A6. Enter. Okay, we're going to press OK here, and then OK here. Apply this. Good. Then we have this in place. So it makes them also what? Stand out, right? So you notice that those are totals. What we can also do is we can make it bold a bit. So on the font, come here and make this bold. Good. Apply. Okay. Makes them stand out a bit. Good. If you're not into the bold, you could take that out. All right. The new rule. Right. Okay. So now this time around, we are working on profits. So equal to $I8 is equal to 3, right? Something like this. So come here, format. Okay. Come to fill. Now, this one's background is going to be the same as the dark background over here. So you come to more colors. Here, custom. I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to use the dark background we have. 061. The same color we used at the beginning, 320. Enter. Okay. Make sure the font is white. Okay. That's all. We can just click OK here and apply. So we have something like this. We need to take off this side. All right, so let me edit this. I'm going to come here. I'm going to say A and D. See J $7. It's not blank. Close brackets. Okay. Apply. Good. So we've done for 2, we've done for 1. The last one is row, those that are indicated as 1. For those that are indicated as 1, let me shift to the main sheet. Where is it? Good. For those that are indicated as 1, you see that it's just underlined over here. They are just underlined. Right, good. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to select this column, Alt OD, or let me use, I'm going to select this column. We'll come to home. Another way to navigate using your mouse is come to conditional formatting, right? You come to manage rules, that's Alt OD, new rule, use a formula. Over here, I'm going to say equal to, right? Now, I'm interested in instances where, so A and D, right? Right? So hash J8 is in blank, right? So I'm not interested in these ones, right? And then hash I8 is equal to 1. Now, on hindsight, if I just use I8 is equal to 1, it will still work because there's no way a blank will have what I8. So let me just clear this guy to make it simple and make my Excel light. Okay, format. We're just going to come to border, use white, clear, and then apply. Okay, okay, apply, good. And these ones are underlined. All right, so we've done that, that's in place. We click OK. And now we need to deal with what the zeros that are showing for empty cells because of the formula. So I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to use a conditional format for this. I'm going to use a number format for this. So Control 1, come to custom, select this guy, and then bring semicolon over here. Click OK. Good. And that clears all the zeros away. All right. So we are now having something but clean, very nice that we can rely on. So we come here and we change this to balance sheets. We have something like this. We need to work on this. Come here to trial balance. We have grand total. Nice. Income statement. We have this. Balance sheets. We have this. Good. So for balance sheets, we are going to take off the grand totals, all of them, right? So come here, come to design, no grand total. Here, design of this, design of design of. Good. So our statement is going to look like this. So balance sheet is just going to be asset total, current asset total, current liabilities total, and total equities, right? We'll have the totals over, so you can always see the balance at the top there. All right, so with that in place, let me just switch it up one more time to make sure everything is looking good. Income statement, profit and loss, balance sheet, and then trial balance. Good. Now there's one more thing we need to do for the income statement. So if you switch back here to the completed version, right, you see the income statement has these colors over here. So when there's profit, it's green. Other than that, is what? It's red. So monthly, right? You see what losses are what are red. So let's see if we can achieve the same thing over here for ourselves as well. So I'm going to highlight this area again. We're going to do Alt OD. Okay. Now, which one was our profits? I guess it was this guy, right? We're going to duplicate this room. Is that okay? And we're going to edit it. Okay. So in this case, we're going to say A and D, blah, 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 comma, right? A and D, blah, 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 comma. I'm going to say the number in question. So J8, right, is greater than 0. Is that okay? Hopefully this works. Come here to fonts. Now we're going to use a special color for the font. That's our green. Is that okay? Good. So if this is greater than 0, right? It shouldn't be a text, by the way. So I'll click OK. Let's click apply. Let's see. Good. So you see the text is also being what? Affected. So let's tweak our apply area too. So it starts from K, like this. Let's select this guy and duplicate this as well. Edit it. Change this to less than 0. Format. Color is going to be our red. Okay. Okay. Apply. And we're done. Do you see that? Good. Let's click OK. And now we have our profit statement looking like we expected. So all profits, we have this in there. You come here, we have this. Okay, so this is looking good. This is looking good. Now we need to hide these numbers over here. So select this, press Ctrl+1, come to custom, and then instead of using any of these formats, we're just going to clear this general and type 3 semicolons, 1, 2, 3. It makes anything invincible. Okay, and then it's gone. Good. We can reduce the font, the size over here. And then we have this. So guys, just like that, we are almost done. You get it? So now all we need to do is to bring in our cards over here, bring in our, what's the word, our spark line, and then we can finally fix our measure. Okay, so thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.